And speaking of amazing teachers, school's almost back in session, and as much as we love and care for our kids, we can't be with them every second of the day, and that's why it is so important to teach our little ones child safety tips that will prepare them if they're ever in danger. Here to teach us back to school safety tips is 7th degree black belt and owner of the studio Martial Arts Fitness, Master P. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Back to school safety, we talk about it all the time, every year, but why is it so important to keep stressing it?
Well, I feel like there's a lot of parents that don't know exactly what to tell their kids when it comes to back to school safety. So I think it's important for me to provide some tools to those parents for them to enable their kids to, really empower them to stay safe when it comes to back to school safety.
What are a few easy things that they can start doing now?
One of my favorite ones is to remind parents not to write their kids' names on their clothing or their backpacks or their lunch pails visible to the public. It's a very easy way for a predator to approach a child, create familiarity, and say, for example, let's say your child's name is Johnny. They're like, "Hi, Johnny, your mom sent me to pick you up from school," and the kid automatically assumes, "Oh, he knows my name, so it's okay."
Right, and speaking of picking up your child, what should parents do if someone else needs to pick up their child?
Every parent should have a password with their child for pickup. That's just a given. So whether it's a family member or a friend picking up, they should have a password that they have with their kid. And if the person picking up does not say the password, the child is not to go with that person.
I do that one.
Good.
We haven't had to use it, but I've given my kids the password. Now, what about for kids that walk to and from school? Because that can sometimes be dangerous.
For sure. So a couple safety tips for that. If they're walking to school and if they have like a phone or iPad or a music device, they are not to listen to it because they need to be alert to their environment.
Pay
That's
attention.
the first thing. Yes. They can't be engulfed in their, their devices. The second thing is a car approaches them, they need to know that they are not to engage in conversation or respond to the person. Let's say someone says, "Hey, they're driving up to them, 'Do you know where McDonald's is?" And the kid knows exactly where McDonald's is. They shouldn't respond. In fact, they should walk in the opposite direction of the car or away from the car, not continuing going the same direction as the car. So that's really important to tell the kids that they're not to engage. They can say no. And quite often parents tell their kids, don't be rude, be polite, to adults, but not at the risk of their safety. A
Right.
stranger adult should never ask a child for help. They really shouldn't. They should go ask an adult for directions.
Well, you talk about when a car may approach a child. What if your child's at a playground and a stranger approaches them? What do they do in that situation?
Same thing. They are not allowed to talk to a stranger. So I teach my students that is just a rule. Just like you have house rules, this is a rule. You can't talk to a stranger. The max that they can say is no and look them straight in the face so that one, the person knows that they're serious, and two, the child also gets a good look at their face. And so no matter whether the child knows the answer to the question, or maybe someone says, "Can you help me find a puppy?" If they can, they still say no. Or let's say they're offering something. The kid really, really wants that item. Let's say they're offering a free video game or ice cream or whatever. The answer always remains no. And then they're immediately to tell whoever they're with or someone that they trust what happened.
Well, I find that to be great advice, and it's something we constantly need to remind our children about. It's kind of hard, too, because you don't want your child to be so fearful
Yes.
of every person they come across. What are some other tips you can offer?
So another safety tip is teaching your kids the difference between a surprise and a secret. This is
Okay.
really important for me because a surprise is something that comes out. Let's say daddy says, "Hey, we're buying mommy a present," and then everybody knows about the present. Eventually it comes out. But a secret is something that someone says, "Don't ever tell anyone." And so I like to teach the kids at our studio, we have a Master P rule with a secret. If someone tells you a secret, the Master P rule is you have to tell your mommy or your daddy, no matter what. Even if they make you pinky swear or if they tell you you're going to get in trouble if you tell mommy or daddy, the response is you have to go and tell mommy and daddy.
Communication, it's so important. And you mentioned your martial arts school. What else can you do through your school to help parents and children?
So what we do is we teach our kids the escalation to this as well. So if someone does actually try to pick them up, lure them, what do they do in those situations, both physically and vocalizing, bringing some attention to themselves. So those are the things that we teach in our martial arts program to the kids to keep them safe.
Yeah, self-defense.
Absolutely.
And so if someone's interested in getting more on your tips or getting more information about learning some self-defense, where can they go?
They can always visit our website, which is trainatthestudio.com. And if you're like me, you want to talk to a person, over the phone, you can call us at 916-258-KICK. And obviously, we have social media, Facebook and Instagram, which is the Studio Martial Arts and Fitness.
All right, Master P, thank you so much for giving us these great tips and
Thanks for
joining us
having
this
me.
morning.
This interview involves commercial content. The products and services featured appear as paid advertising.